Hello, welcome to Daily Balance. Our topic today is a difficult one for most parents to even think about and an impossible one to comprehend. We're talking about finding strength to go on after the most devastating of losses, that of a child. How do you face each day? How do you make sense of life? How do you find balance through the pain? Later, you'll meet Yvonne Pointer, who has lost her daughter, and learn how she turned tragedy into a mission to build safer communities for other children. But my first guests are the parents of Hope Stout. The story of Hope's battle and her compassion and caring for others sparked an unprecedented outpouring of support. When given the opportunity to have almost any wish fulfilled by the Make-A-Wish Foundation, Hope's wish was that the other 155 wish kids in her state would be granted their wishes. Please welcome to Daily Balance, Stuart and Shelby Stout. I'm so glad to have you all. So glad. Thank you. I'm so glad that you all came on the show today. Oh, wow. Okay. I know this is so difficult. And I really want to thank you, first of all, for stopping here at Daily Balance, because I believe this story about hope, when I read it, it just touched my heart. My producer, Donna, was sharing it with me first. And then as I learned more and more about Hope, I fell in love with her as a person. And I just want the whole world to hear about Hope Stout. So start by telling us, thank you for coming. And I know it's difficult, but let's start talking about Hope. Tell everybody about Hope.
Well, she was quite a kid. She was the third of our three girls.
Okay.
She was the only redhead. And, of course, being the youngest girl, she knew everything by the time she was 10 or 11 years old. And she was very much of an athlete, a tomboy. The last several years of her life, she just shot up. She grew 4 inches. She became a very good basketball player. And Hope was one that was always instigating things. She was always the ringleader of her group of girls. And all the girls had their special talents and characteristics, but Hope was always keeping people in stitches.
No, that's funny. So she was a comedian.
Always.
Great kid.
How did you all find out that she was sick?
She had just gone through basketball. She had played basketball, and she was going in the 7th grade and thought at that time that it would be the appropriate time to go out for cheerleading. She thought that would gain her some popularity, as most kids in the 7th grade would like.
Right.
So she decided that's what she wanted to do. She had never done any cheerleading in her whole entire life. Her sister was the cheerleader in the family. So we put her in some tumbling classes, and you never say no to Hope.
Okay.
And she made the cheerleading squad.
Did she? Oh, good.
Right after that, she started having a pain in her right knee, and we just thought that she had strained it. So we went to the doctor, and he felt around for about 15 minutes and said, really, I don't think there's anything but a strain. Wrap it, come back in 2 weeks, and after that, if it's still hurting, we'll do an x-ray.
Right.
We came back in 2 weeks, and the x-ray showed something. It threw up a red flag to the doctors, and within a week, we had a biopsy that told us that Hope did not have a strain. She had cancer. It was bone cancer.
You're about to meet an amazing woman who has been recognized many times and received many awards for her tireless work in her community, her state, and now around the world. According to her, one person can make a difference. Please welcome Yvonne Pointer. Hey, Yvonne.
Hey, Kim.
Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for blessing me to be here.
I'm so glad to have you.
Yes.
And I want the whole world to know about Gloria, your daughter.
Yes.
Tell us about her and what happened to her.
Well, Gloria and I grew up together. I can say it like that. I was a teenage mother, made some mistakes early on in life, but made a determination that she would not fall prey to the ills that captured my life at such a young age. So I was very cautious about the things that she would do and places she would go.
Right.
So we grew up together. So on December 6, 1984, I think I received the parents' worst nightmare phone call that Gloria had not made it to school that day. And it was a particular day that she was going to receive a perfect attendance award.
Aww.
You know, I was very emphatic about, you're going to go to school. You're not going to do these things that all these other girls are doing.
Right.
So everybody was quite alarmed when they called her name at the ceremony and she didn't come up to get the award.
Of course.
So they called me and said, well, you know, it's Gloria's home. I said, what do you mean? Gloria went to school on time.
Perfect attendance.
Right. My first thought was, when I see her, I am going to get her. You know, she's going to get it. And nowhere in my mind was it the fact that her lifeless body was at the bottom of a filthy, nasty, rat-infested stairwell, and that she had been beaten to death and sexually assaulted. It just was not